All right, welcome. We're going to talk today about taking apart your first snap tray. The snap tray that I've chosen today is the Algeroth faction starter. This is one of my favorite sets just because I think the models look really cool. So I'm going to talk through all the tools you'll need and all the techniques you'll want to use to pull these guys off of a snap tray. So the first thing you're going to need, safety glasses, just in case anything flies off when you're cutting or snipping or pulling things apart. Next thing you're going to want is some super glue to put your parts on their bases. You'll also need a hobby knife to do some of the cleaning of the fines and the supports that are on here. And then you may need some clippers if you want to really get in there and reduce some of the trickier supports that are underneath the model. So I'm not going to probably need these today, but I will need the hobby knife, and I'll show you how to use that. So just so we kind of know how long we're working here, I'm going to keep this guy and start a little timer so we can watch it. Now, when you look at your snap tray, some of the things you're going to see is the bottom raft. That's the bottom of the plate. That's what's attached to the build plate, and everything grows out of the vat. So you have a vat of liquid, and these parts grow out of it. The last thing to print are these tips of these corner brackets and the tip of his gun and the tip of his bayonet. The first thing that's grown is the plate at the bottom. So I've got 9 models here, and I've got 9 bases. Now, you can move the bases at the first or the last. It doesn't really matter. You got to start somewhere. So we're just going to start with this, the leader here. And we're just going to gently just start pulling some of these little supports off. Now, the supports, we've designed these so that they're only a few human hair thicknesses contact the model. That makes most of these supports easy to remove. And if they don't, we can get in there and we can even use our hobby knife to kind of break some of these parts loose. Don't really need that though if you just use your fingers and pull these parts apart. Pull that guy through there, and then I've got most of it. What I'm trying to do is remove some of the pressure on the model when I want to get this thing off of here. And so I only had a few supports left, but you can see this model popped off very cleanly once we cut those away. I've got a couple of supports on the model that we're going to remove. So we'll just take a hobby knife and we'll just cut that loose. Could take some time and really got to get in there and clean that up. But just so we can keep moving along here, I'm just going to pop these 2 pieces free. And later on we can go back and clean that up. And so that's the first part comes off. Next one, we've got this other Legionnaire right here. And so I'll do a similar thing. I'll just be pulling all those supports off of him. That's his gun stock. I've done this enough times that I know. But he's got a bayonet, and it's right there. And so this bayonet is kind of thin, and I'm thinking, there's a good chance possibly that I could break that off. So it's really nice to just take your hobby knife and just reach in there, and you can break all those little parts loose and kind of free up some of the tension when you're going to pull this apart here in a moment. So don't really need this at this point. I'm just going to start kind of pulling this guy back and forth. And maybe I want to do that one there. I can kind of reach down in there and make sure doesn't have any extra tension on the part. And then I can just pull him off there. So he comes off really nice and clean. I managed to make sure the bayonet didn't snap off, and also his magazine. He's got one little support that runs along the body here, so I'm just going to peel that one off and just brush off any excess supports that are on here. He does have one right there on his chin, so I'll just hit that guy. We had, every so often we have a couple of supports that'll jump from one body part to another body part. I'll hop over here, and I've got another guy on the other side, and I'm just going to push into these things and gently just pull all these off. Again, you want to make sure that you don't have any parts kind of cantilevered out there. And once you've done that, everything will just break right away. And then these supports, they're very like hairs, and they'll just kind of peel off really easily. This one's got a little bit of a trickier one, kind of right here on his body, but we can just pop that guy loose there, and he's nice, and a little bit more cleanup work we might want to have to do. This guy, he's a little bit kind of shoved here in the corner. So what I'm going to do is just make sure that I get all these little parts off of him. And pull that one off of his face. I'll go back here on his back. I pull these off and make sure that all those are broken away. And then I just can grab this guy and pull that loose, and he comes off really nice and easy. Again, he's got a part right here that we just have to pull off there. But yep, he comes out nice and clean and very detailed. Good looking model. This guy, again, I'll just break that part away right there. We'll break a few more of these supports off, and then we'll just kind of pull him back and forth, and he just pops right out. Again, it's we designed the material and the support structures to just really be easy to remove even after cure. Normally, traditionally, we would have removed supports before we cured it, but we spent quite a bit of time sorting out how to make this stuff just come out. This guy here, he's got some more parts. We'll just pull them off. We'll make sure that anything that's kind of hanging out there cantilevered, we'll pull those parts off and kind of get back to the main body of the model, and then just rock him back and forth and just pull him off. Now he came off with a big chunk of support right there, right? But that stuff just pulls off. It's the same way as the other ones. He's nice and clean, and he's ready to go on a base. I got another guy here. He's kind of in the center. We'll just put our fingers in here and kind of break these little spots away. Looks like he's got something kind of cantilevered down there. Again, I can take my hobby knife and just kind of dig in there and break that away so that when I pull it apart, it doesn't cause any kind of tension on it and break it. And then I'm just going to kind of lean into it and pull that off. Again, see those supports right there? I didn't even get them, but they didn't cause any problems. Let's see if he's got some. He's got some on the inside here that we'd have to remove. He's got one right there on his little chin. He's got a little one right there around his ear. He's got some kind of underneath his shoulder pads. But in general, he's in good shape here. Pull that one off there. I think that was just loose from the other. And we got a couple left. So like this guy, I might want to get him, so I just go ahead and pull these bases off. Go ahead and break them free. And I'll just sit those down over here. This one, they come with a magnet hole. All the support nubs are still inside here, so it won't even matter when it sits flat. We got the Transatlantis logo on it, as well as the Warzone Eternal. And we just pull all these guys out of here, and we can clean them up a little bit later. There are some supports on one side, and you can just kind of hit that with a piece of sandpaper one time, and it knocks all the little burrs off of that, if there are any. But can't even see them. You might not even need that. So anyway, we can set these little guys aside here. And so now I got two models left, and I'm almost done. So the flamethrower, again, I'm just going to push that away from the end of the barrel so I make sure I don't have any problems with breaking it. We're going to pull these little fines out over here and get these kind of in the back side of him, and then we can just kind of rock him back and forth and pull him, and he comes right off. No problem there. A lot easier to clean this up than some of the other materials that we've used in the past. Yeah, it works pretty nice. He looks good, and so I got one more guy left. So again, he's got his bayonet out there, so I'm gonna kind of protect that and make sure that I don't have any supports that are hanging out there on the end of a cantilevered part or an extended part like a pole arm or a sword. And again, I just break him off and pull that little support off right there, that nub. Make sure that nub's off, and yeah, he's nice and clean. He's got a little spot right here that grows between, so we can just pull that and slice that guy. And yep, so he's all done. So now let's look at our body of work. What have we got? The snap tray is easy, so you can use that for some terrain or a platform or whatever you want to do. You can use that, and you might even go in there and cut these things off and just throw them away. We'll set that aside and clean up a little bit of a mess. There's a bit of a mess that you can clean up, but not significantly different from a model sprue. Sit these little guys out. And if we wanted to glue one, so super glue again is your friend, and so just put you a healthy dose of a nice. I like the gel super glue because that works real well. And pick your base and put your Necromutant leader on here. And yeah, he's all ready to go. I do have a little bit of cleaning here. I just see that now. I had to go back and touch that. But all in all, these guys are ready for the battlefield after adding some bases and a little bit of cleanup and then a prime. And that's all of it.